named ourselves the Kamoinge Workshop. And we picked the name from a book by Jomo Kenyatta. It's defined as a group of people acting together, and that seemed to be appropriate. So we decided to call ourselves Kamoinge.
You know, to borrow a phrase that I heard somewhere, you know, we were a group that the stars fell on. All the chemistry came together at the right time. And the various things that we needed, you know, we were able to get from each other.
I think these guys, and there's a woman in the group, Ming Smith, are the greatest photographers in the world.
Kamoinge has always been to me a family, you know. It's almost like that's how I grew up. It's almost like that's how I woke up.
For me, it was my way out. So I emerged myself. I went to Lou Draper. Lou Draper had his enlarger on the floor, so we had to print on our knees.
And as I was walking up the street, I saw a photographer. He had a portfolio in his hand and this fancy Chesterfield coat with a fur collar, and it turned out to be Lou Draper.
Lou Draper lived in the building where Langston Hughes lived. So now we got Roy Jacob, we got Langston Hughes as mentors of the group.
Kamoinge first introduced photography to me as an art form. That's all I needed, really. Just to know that there was a language, that there was a world.
We all just got together and talked about stuff, and then they said, well, man, what are we gonna do? I said, well, the images that they're doing of us in the newspapers and stuff is terrible. So we decided that we would take that over and photograph our people in a positive way and in a positive light.
The Nationalists is more about the politics, we were more about the culture. We were more about the visualness of black people.
We had to do more than just take pictures, criticize the pictures and have shows. We had to take young people and show them that there's a big world out here, Junior, and a camera can bring you much closer to it.
The backbone of what we did was also based on music, based particularly on jazz too.
I'm an instrument in the group. It's not about me, not about power, position, and that's how Lou was also.
The whole thing that held it together, the glue that held it together was Lou Draper, and the kind of mentoring that Lou always did.
Because I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Lou, because I really don't do groups well.
So I think when you talk about the Kamoinge Workshop, you have to talk about it in two phases. You have to talk about the actual workshop, the functioning, the day-to-day operation, and then you have to talk about the spirit that was generated by that formative period. And that, I think, will continue with us. I mean, that's such an important part of our lives that there's no way of erasing that.
This was an incredible book put together by Tony Barboza and Herb Robinson of Kamoinge Workshop, which were my dad's best friends, and also co-founders of the Kamoinge Workshop. It was a culmination of 50 years of the work of the photographers and the original founding members, and the book is called Timeless.